Hi there! The latest CN patch saw the addition of an incredible feature which takes out some of the most frustrating RNG of the attachment calibration system. Instead of endlessly farming for a piece with the perfect base rolls, or wasting all your gold by recalibrating said piece for the fabled max roll, there's now a new item, unofficially called Fire Control Calibration Chip, which guarantees an improvement for the attribute of your choice. This drastically affects the optimal approach to attachment farming and calibration, but before I get to that, let me briefly introduce you to how this new system works. It can be accessed from the small button left to the calibration button, sending you to a new screen that shows the individual stat attributes and their current calibration progress. As a refresher, the white line indicates the base roll of the attachment before the calibration. Each stat can have 4 to 5 distinct values, and if the white line reaches the little marker, you're looking at a piece with the maximum base roll for that attribute. The orange line indicates the success of your calibration, starting at 10% up to 200%, going up in steps of 10. If all of this is new to you, I refer you to my Weapons and Attachments guide, where I cover this in more detail. As you can see down here, it shows the amount held of the newly added golden chips. Using a chip costs 50k gold, and each attribute must have reached at least a calibration of 100% before you can begin this new process. Once you've started, you can no longer go back to the standard calibration. You can select the attribute you wish to improve by clicking on the plus symbol. Each chip increases the attribute's calibration by 10%, no RNG. Note that this chip first improves the white line, meaning the base roll, if it is not maxed, and afterwards improves the orange line, meaning the calibration success. This feature is truly a game changer, but there's a catch, aside from the hefty gold cost. The acquisition of these new chips is quite limited. Currently, you can get 1 chip per week from the Platoon shop and 3 chips per month from the Blue Ticket Exchange shop. Additionally, the event of the current patch rewards another 6. Assuming no extra event-based income, we're looking in total at 15 chips per month for free-to-play players. For spenders, there are 3 packs varying in price, which allow in total for the purchase of 14 additional chips. Due to this resource scarcity, there's a limitation to what you can achieve within a given time frame. Just because you have the desired stats on a set piece, you can't nilly-willy throw your chips at it. In this example, you'd need 34 chips to max out the piece, meaning a bit over 2 months of chip hoarding and a whopping 1.7 million gold cost to boot. Therefore, a better strategy is to first search for pieces with a high base rank of its attributes. On the left is a table with the potential values for each attribute. The top row assigns a rank to the values in each column. For instance, max starting crit values of 5% would be assigned a rank of 4, whereas the minimum roll of 3.5% would receive a rank of 1. Adding the ranks of your individual substats together yields the total score of your gear piece. The higher the better. That said, RNG is a fickle mistress, so there is a sweet spot between farming for the perfect piece and the required time to obtain chips. In this graph, the x-axis shows the rank of an item. The blue line denotes the average number of days needed to farm an item with the perfect attributes and the corresponding rank. The orange line indicates the number of days needed to acquire the corresponding number of chips to upgrade the piece. So on the very right, at rank 9, you're maximizing the farming time, but minimizing the chip cost. The optimal point is where the lines cross at rank 7. Here, the expected number of days to farm a piece and to obtain the corresponding number of chips is 24. On a side note, the optimization changes slightly for spenders. Here the yellow line demonstrates the sped up chip acquisition, meaning pieces with lower rank, somewhere between 5 and 6, become acceptable. Muzzles, however, are a story of their own. I don't know about you, but in my time playing since launch, I haven't gotten a single muzzle with double crit and double attack. Leave a comment below if you've encountered this mystical creature, so everyone can seethe with venomous envy. Regardless, since muzzles with all the right substats are so hard to come by, you simply take any piece you can get, even if all 4 stats rolled its minimum starting value. Analogous to the base rolls of the attributes, the same logic applies to the calibration process. You can simply add up the calibration result of each attribute divided by 10 to calculate the total rank of the item. The previous calibration rolled 130%, 200% and 140%, yielding a total rank of 47. The new result went up by 10% and down by 180%, meaning the total rank is 17 lower. The higher the total rank of your item, the lower the number of chips required. Since recalibrating too many times will consume too much gold, there's again a sweet spot to be found. On the left we see the optimization graph for set pieces with 3 stats. The lines cross at rank 50 with an expected time frame of about 15 to 16 days. The right shows the graph for muzzles, which have 4 stats. Here the lines cross at about rank 65, which is expected to take about 25 days. Practically, this means you want all your calibration results to be above 160%, meaning that you require at most 9 chips for a set piece or 12 chips for a muzzle to maximize the orange calibration line. Now you might be wondering, what about precision boost chips? Do they change anything? Yes, absolutely, they're excellent at draining both your gold and your sanity. The biggest flaw with the precision boost chip is that the distribution of potential calibration results is not reduced to the range from 100 to 200, but instead results lower than 100 are simply adjusted. Therefore, values above 100% don't become any more likely, whether you use these chips or not. Case in point, here you see a newly added line which reflects the use of precision boost chips. As you can see, the number of days to acquire a high rank calibration result goes up quickly toward the end, delaying the time per piece by several days due to the increased gold cost. Here's to hoping Mika will introduce a conversion from these chips to the new ones. Initially, some of these considerations may not apply to long-term players who have already farmed good gear pieces by the time the chips release. In that case, your bottleneck will be the chips, so rather than striving to fully maximize each piece, you can instead optimize the important stats on multiple pieces. This graph shows the approximate return on investment for each stat, demonstrating that maxing attack percentage and crit damage first can be more beneficial. When you're done with these attributes, you can come back and finish up stats like crit rate or flat attack. So how does all of this affect you now, knowing that this feature will come eventually? The expected time to fully maximize a single set will be around 3 months. This may sound like a lot, but considering that this was pretty much impossible until now, it's a significant improvement. Looking at this illustration, there are multiple weapon types and elements you could farm gear for. The top row shows the number of assault rifle pieces needed, on the second row the sniper rifle pieces, and so on. Looking at the number of assault rifle users, you'd be looking at 11 sets across multiple elements. While I'm sure that all of us will be enjoying Girls Frontline 2 years from now, there's only one sensible way to alleviate this bottleneck. Ignore the elements and opt for phase strike. This means 5% less damage bonus, but effectively this translates to only a 2 to 3% of actual damage difference, which is easily overcome by perfect substats. Now you'd have to farm at most 3 assault rifle sets rather than 11, which you can then swap around your teams as needed. While swapping attachments sounds dreadful at this point in time, keep in mind that a recent update of the CN version saw the introduction of gear presets. With this, you can set up your best pieces for each character, allowing for quick and easy gear transfer between your teams. In summary, the new gear farming strategy is to farm phase strike as much as you can. Prioritize assault rifles first, which also covers shotguns, then go for sniper rifles. Only get as many sets per weapon as you need for a single team, depending on what characters you run together. There are also a few submachine gun users, but they are mostly in support roles, so they matter less. Prioritize your DPS first. When you farm attachments, set pieces should ideally reach a base rank of at least 7 and a calibration rank of 50. The base rank for muzzles doesn't matter, while the calibration rank should reach 65. To simplify, these ranks correspond to an average calibration result of 170 per attribute. With the acquisition of 15 chips per month, you can expect to need about 3 months per set. When the chips are released, prioritize upgrading attack percentage and crit damage first for the fastest DPS gain. Avoid precision boost chips like the plague until they either get fixed or can be converted to something useful. With that said, I wish all commanders the best of luck with their gear farming. Here's to hoping they release the chips early for global. In any case, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.